Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this short teaching video by AsiAfrica Ministries. In our last video, we learned that God is love. But what does it mean to say that God is love? That is the question that we'll be trying to answer in this video and the ones that follow. What does it mean to say that God is love? As we go through this series of short videos, we will learn more about who God is. We will also learn why this concerns our own life. We will learn how this relates to the meaning and purpose of our lives and those that we love. Okay then, what does it mean to say God is love? In one of the most beloved passages in the Bible, the Apostle Paul writes this. Paul says, "Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. Love does not demand its own way. Love is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. Love does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance." According to the Apostle Paul, love is patient and kind. Love does not demand its own way. Love is not self-seeking. In other words, love is not self-centered. Love is other-centered. Love does not turn inward toward the self. Love turns outward toward another. For Paul, love is interpersonal. In other words, love involves two or more persons. Love requires one person to give it and another person to receive it. Love is patient and kind with the other. Love does not demand its own way, but yields to the needs of the other. Love is not irritable with the other. Love is not easily angered. Love keeps no record of the other's wrongs. As Paul shows, love is never selfish. Love reaches out to the other. Paul's description of love teaches us much about God. Remember, we say that God is love, as we learn in the New Testament. As we've just seen, love is interpersonal. That is, love requires another. Since love requires at least one person to give it and another person to receive it, then God must be more than one person. If God is more than one person, as we would expect since the Bible tells us that God is love, then we must not think of God as a lonely old man with a long white beard sitting up in a cloud and keeping a record of all of our mistakes. First of all, remember that love keeps no record of wrongs, and God is love. That's good news. Instead of being an isolated old man with a beard, the New Testament reveals that God is a fellowship of persons. The New Testament teaches us that God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Jesus told his first followers to go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Jesus did not say, "Baptize them in my name." Jesus did not say, "Baptize in the name of God." Jesus said, "Baptize in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit." Jesus is teaching us something very important about who God is. At the same time, while the Bible teaches us that God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Bible also teaches us that God is one. In the Old Testament, God's people praised him by proclaiming, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." But that does not mean that God is one person. Remember, God is not a lonely old man sitting up on a cloud with a long white beard. When we say that God is one, we mean that the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are eternally united as one in a fellowship of love. I want to make that as clear as I can. God is not one. God is one. Do you see the difference? God is not one. God is one. Love joins the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit together in such close fellowship that we say God is one. So here are the points I want us to remember for today's teaching. God is love. Love is all about relationship and fellowship. Remember that. God is love. Love is all about relationship and fellowship. God is three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, eternally united as one in a fellowship of love. That's why that Christians can say that God is both three and one, because God is three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, who are united in a fellowship of love, so closely united together in love that we say they are one. That is the God we believe in. That is the God that Christians worship. And as we proceed through these videos, we will come to understand the good news of all of that. To know that God is love, to know that God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit holds the key to the meaning of our own lives. And that's what we'll be talking about in the next video. Until then, see you next time. Bye-bye.
I was yelling.